give you a reading. I got kind of creative with this one, and I haven't done a reading like this before, so please, any feedback is welcome. I am going to be using the Star Spinner Tarot cards by, it's either Trungles or Trungles. This beautiful deck. I'm going to be using my Oracle Poggs by MoonPumpkin and my magical pencil box that I have imbued with magic by gluing some stick-on earrings to the buttons. How we're going to do this reading is you're going to pick a stick-on earring, and I'm going to push that button, and it's going to open a secret compartment in this pencil case. And inside the secret compartment is going to be a nostalgic symbol. All of this is going to be taken in consideration during your reading with the cards and the pogs. So at this time, let's take a moment to take the best breath that we have taken all day. Inhale and fill your lungs with love and joy and comfort, and tell yourself that in this space you can relax and have a good time and take some time to have a reading. Exhale if you haven't already. I was talking a lot. And let all of the worries from the day go with your exhale. So I'll tell you the symbols. We have an orange star, a blue diamond. There's falcor hair stuck to it now because I'm using a fuzzy tablecloth. A yellow moon and a pink heart. I call this tablecloth falcor, by the way. So at this time, make a choice. And below I will have timestamps that will either say orange star, blue diamond, yellow moon, or pink heart. And you can go ahead and click on those timestamps to get a reading. Also, I want to say that I'm highly inspired by the videos that are created by Lady Speech Sankofa and Charmed Intuition Tarot. I love watching their divination, their readings, their videos. If you really enjoy watching divination videos on YouTube, I highly recommend those channels, and I will link them below. And I just want to give my love to those beautiful, magical people. All right, let's get into your reading. Okay, this reading is for those of you who have chosen the orange star. So the secret compartment that popped up is the pencil sharpener, which we will take into consideration. And the symbol that you got, the nostalgic symbol that you got, is the keytar. So I'm going to write those down. What do we got? Orange star, pencil sharpener, and keytar. All right, let's flip this baby over and do your reading. Orange star, pencil sharpener, keytar. There's your little keytar. And for those of you who are not aware, a keytar is a synthesizer keyboard that you hold like a guitar. It has this little arm off the side that you can use your other hand with while you're playing the keys with your right hand. You can use your left hand to augment the sound. I haven't actually played one before, so I don't know exactly the benefits of a keytar, but I think they're pretty cool. So I'm going to start shuffling these Star Spinner cards, and I'm going to talk about these symbols that we already got while I shuffle the cards. We're going to see what the cards have to add. So you chose the orange star. The orange star as a symbol itself is very fiery energy. 7 of coins popped out. And then the pencil sharpener is the secret compartment that popped up for you when you chose the orange star. Pencil sharpeners are a pretty important tool. To me, I'm going to say that a pencil sharpener is an important tool that is often forgotten, especially nowadays with mechanical pencils and pens and just taking a note on your phone or whatever you need to do to take a note. But they come in handy. They really come in handy. And to have a pencil sharpener in your secret compartment says to me that you've got a very special skill that you might think is outdated, or maybe a lost art, as we crocheters like to say. But it's going to come in handy. You're going to need it. It's good to have that in your back pocket. And then with the keytar is, to me, symbolic of combining things that you didn't think went together, but then when you combine them, they actually make a lot of sense. So I'm really feeling this reading is taking the direction of a career type of reading, or, you know, what you're gonna do to make money. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have to worry about making enough money to get by, but since we do, it's nice to think that we can do something that we love and be able to sustain ourselves. So I'm seeing with the keytar that, and the pencil sharpener, that you're going to take this hidden talent that you thought was obsolete and you're going to combine it with another talent you have, or something that maybe you're currently learning right now, or maybe something that someone else has the talent, and then you can supplement their talent with yours. And it's going to create something new for you. And that, King of Swords. Okay, yep. And it's going to be a gigantic epiphany when it happens. It's going to be a huge idea. It's going to be very, very original. And when people find out about it, they're gonna go wild. It's going to be a pretty awesome new thing that you're creating. And with the orange star too, it's a very passionate, ethereal energy, and I would say, or it's a fiery energy, and I would say that it's something that you are passionate about. So there is something that you're very passionate about that you think is obsolete, or you think doesn't make sense, or whenever you tell people, you know, oh, I do this thing, they're like, what is that? And I'm really sensing that there's someone else that you know also that's going to come through with a way for you to combine that talent with their talent or with another one of your talents. And it's going to be a really awesome, the new thing. It's going to be the talk of the town. Seven of Coins also talks a lot about waiting, patience, kind of like you plant the seeds and then you wait for the plant to grow and then bear fruit and then you can harvest. And with plants that they're going to grow when they grow, if they grow. So the key is just to be patient and to know that while you're working on this new idea, it's going to take time. Also, with the Three of Wands, see this little fairy person is looking into the distance. They're looking far ahead. They're thinking about the far, far future. So this is something it's not going to be instantaneous. It's an idea, you're going to combine the thing. And much like the keytar, which was pretty popular for a time in the 80s, but then it just like went away and then came back recently. I think it's going to be that kind of idea where it's really spectacular. A lot of people are going to love it, but it might take a while for it to catch on and for it to get popular. Cool. Let's draw some pogs. Let's get some pogs. All right. Explore. Okay. Oh, and then speak up and what is that? Femme God. This one doesn't have, this is from the queer set, doesn't have any writing on it. Okay, great. Okay. Explore. Obviously, we were just talking about that, combining your talents that you don't think have anything to do with each other, or you've never really tried to combine them before, and just exploring that area, being creative, being innovative. That's what I'm getting. Innovation. That is a huge word, especially with the King of Swords here. Very, a lot of thinking, a lot of processing, a lot of logic, a lot of trial and error. Yes, and with the waiting, that also makes sense. That this is something that when you get this epiphany, when you figure out what this new idea is, you also know, I'm not going to be able to make this today. I'm not going to be able to finish this today and be able to present it tomorrow. This is something that I'm going to need to make a prototype of, or I'm going to have to make several drafts of, if it's a written work, or yeah, something I'm going to need to try out and maybe show some of my trusted friends. So here we have the speak up, which is saying, like, make sure that you are sharing what you're doing with people. I know that there are a lot of superstitions about not speaking aloud about your hopes and dreams and stuff, because there might be some mischievous little imps that will try to sabotage you. And that's what knocking on wood is for. And also, I just gotta say, I realized the other day, my grandpa was a woodworker and he built this room that I'm in, and it's pretty awesome to just always have wood to knock on. So yeah, so there are a lot of spiritual beliefs, and I'm not going to knock those at all, that say you shouldn't speak aloud about your dreams, your desires, your ideas. And then not only spiritually, but if you say something that you're working on creatively, if you share it with someone else who is also a creative and isn't very honest, they might take that idea from you. And they might do it first. Or they might do it better. Ooh. But what I can tell you, the message that I'm getting is that with the speak up pog, is that you need to share. You need to share your ideas. Um, because you have people in your life that do support you. And obviously, you're not going to go on, social media and just post, hey, here's this brand new idea that I have. No one's ever thought of it before. Please don't steal my idea. No, it's saying, you have friends that support you, and there are lots of people that really like watching you work. They like knowing about what you're working on. And some of them are influential, some of them might have money. So just by sharing with people, hey, I've got this idea, they could say, oh, you know what? I have a friend who owns a business that can help you with that. Oh, guess what? I want to invest in your idea. Can I give you some money to help kickstart this idea? So this particular idea is a good thing for you to speak about. Then we have Femme God, which is a painting of a femme god who has the world in their hand, and it is a space of joy. This Pog is part of the Queer Pog set, and that was a collaboration with many different artists. And the artist who created this Pog wanted to create something that spoke about the joy of the queer experience. We often hear about transphobia, queerphobia, homophobia. We often hear about legislation that's keeping people down. We often hear about the struggles of being queer, but there is also so much joy. And if you don't identify as queer, that doesn't mean that this is not for you. This Pog is saying that everyone deserves to feel held, to feel supported, to feel joy, and to feel just that warmth. I'm not sure if you can see this in the picture, but I see so much love surrounding the world. And it's a statement that, no one is more deserving than the other. Everyone is worthy. Everyone is worthy of love. Everyone is worthy of support, and everyone is worthy of joy and comfort. And with this coming through, I think it's a reminder that, you're embarking on something very original, unprecedented. There's really no way to predict how it's going to go. So to just remember the whole way that you are supported, you are loved, you have a great idea, you're innovative, and if people raise their eyebrows at you when you talk about it, or, give you stinky looks, that's because they don't understand. They don't understand innovation, or they don't understand your creativity, or maybe they're jealous. But you are a weirdo. Oh my gosh, we got a keytar. Like, you're a weirdo. You're probably used to people making stinky looks at you. But this is really saying express yourself, be yourself unapologetically. Unapologetically, because that is going to take you to a really random and spectacular place. I really love this reading. Good for you. Wow. I think that this is a good spot to call it for the Orange Star group. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please let me know if you'd like to see more. Let me know if you chose the Orange Star button and if it resonated or if it has nothing to do with you. I really would like some feedback because this is my first time really doing a video like this, so I kind of want to know how it goes. Okay, thank you so much, Orange Star Group. Have a wonderful day. You chose the blue diamond button. This reading is for you. So we're going to push it and see which secret compartment opens. And it is the pencil compartment. And inside, the symbol is a Polaroid camera. So I'm going to write those down really quick. And we will take all of that in consideration during your reading. So you chose the blue diamond. Which opened up the pencil drawer. And you got the Polaroid camera. Awesome. All right, let's do your reading. I'm gonna move this light. That's probably so much better. Yeah, that already looks so much better. Okay, well, I'm really sorry for the first group because I didn't do anything about the lighting. So we've got your Polaroid camera right there. And I'm going to talk about these symbols while I shuffle your cards, and we'll see what cards pop out. So, blue diamond. Diamonds are gems. I would definitely say that they're very earth energy. With blue, it's intuitive earth, and almost communication, because I'm thinking about blue representing the third eye, and that's very close to the brain. It's very close to that's part of the head. So we have some earth and some air energy happening. Also, blue diamond is reminding me, well, it just reminded me of almonds, because that's the brand name of, nuts. So we'll see if that makes sense later. But also, a blue diamond is making me think of like cold, kind of like ice, like cold energy. So your secret compartment was the pencil drawer. You didn't know that you were going to get the pencil drawer, but I'm thinking that you have a hidden talent. Maybe it's even hidden from yourself for writing. You are blessed with the gift to be able to take pencil to paper, pen to paper, stylus to tablet, what have you. 5 of coins. Yeah, you're able to write very well. And let's see. And the Fool. Oh wow. Okay. Yep. Okay. The blue diamond, because I was saying the blue makes me think of the third eye. I think that you really write from your truth. Okay, yes. Okay, this reading is going to be very good, but slightly intense. So I hope you're ready. I'm ready. It's gonna be fine. Okay. Also, okay, let's talk about this Polaroid camera really quick. This symbol to me, it makes me think about instant gratification. And then also because it takes pictures, it makes me think about memories. So what I am seeing, in the past, you were able to write about something and you received praise for it, accolades for it. You received some sort of instant gratification. Also, it's this camera. I really, this might not be for every one of you, but I really think that you posted something on Instagram and it made a lot of sense to a lot of people and it went great. And you're trying to do that again and it's not working. The same formula isn't working. The way that you used to communicate doesn't fit with the way things are now. And a lot has changed. That's the thing too. I think really what I'm seeing is that you're still trying to hold on to something pre-pandemic. And yes, not everything pre-pandemic is going to be erased. But there are a lot of things that need to be done differently. They don't work anymore. Or if you try to make them work, it's gonna fall apart. You're trying to do this again. You're trying to keep things together. This also has a broken mirror. You're trying to keep something together. You're trying to receive this instant gratification that you used to receive in the past. You have memories. You have clear memories of this working, and it's not working anymore. So we have the Fool card, which is saying time to start something new. Time to be reborn. Time to allow whatever this is to go. And Five of Coins is also very much a grief card. This Fool also does not look super energized right now. I need to drink some tea. Hold on. The rebirthing process is not easy. But if you're allowing yourself rest, if you're allowing yourself love, it will be a lot easier than if you're trying to hold on to a broken mirror. It's like if you went to this mirror and you're trying to repair it with your bare hands. Not a good idea. It's not going to happen. Or it could happen, but it's still not going to last that long. Allow yourself the space to grieve. We all are grieving something. Everybody is grieving something. And we all deserve to grieve. Not that we deserve to have to lose things, to be in a situation where we are grieving, but when it is time to grieve, we deserve to be able to rest, to have whatever kind of therapy we need to help us get through it. We deserve support. We deserve love. We deserve to be able to tell the people that we trust the most, hey, I'm going through some shit right now. I could use some support. And then we also deserve for those people to say, I am here for you in whatever capacity you need. And from this reading, what I'm seeing is through this process of grieving and rebirthing. So grieving is a death. Letting go of things is a death. Something not working and falling away is a death. You're saying goodbye to something and you're rebirthing. And in the process of rebirthing, you realize that there are some things that you're surrounded with that are not sustainable. There are people in your life that aren't supportive, or maybe your current job isn't fitting in anymore with who you are now. And this is definitely big and spectacular, and congratulations. I'm going to say that. It is a big deal, but it is not rare. If you want to get down into the minutia, we die every day and are reborn every day. We are reborn with every inhale and we die with every exhale. If you really want to get into it, it is part of life. It's how things go. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Things will leave you. You will say goodbye. And things will come into your life. And also, you need that ebb and flow. That ebb and flow. It's so important. The waves of the ocean. They go out, they come in. They go out, they come in. If that ebb and flow stopped happening, the water would be stagnant. This reading is such an ebb and a flow. Ebb, flow, ebb. Goodbye, hello, goodbye. Death, rebirth, death. And how spectacular is that? Because it feels to me like the instant gratification that you're looking for is coming to you, but in a different way. That instantly you are realizing that this thing is not sustainable anymore and you need to change. You go through the process of rebirthing and changing. And then during that process, you realize there's a lot of other things that you need to let go of. So it seems like it's happening rather quickly. Let's see, we've got an 8, we've got a 5. So, for some reason it's telling me I'm being told to add the 5 and the 8. We got 13, which is the death card. But I'm going to say over the course of 13 days. So over the course of 2 weeks, you're going to have this epiphany. You're going to say, oh, this isn't working for me anymore, and I actually need to make a decision. And I decide, I choose me. I choose working on myself. I choose doing the inner work and the outer work and finding something new. And then while you're finding the new thing, a bunch of other things are going to fall away. Now, let's talk about this 8 of Cups card. The visual here is someone who is nude on an island away from an island that has a castle. And the energy of this card traditionally talks about leaving things behind, leaving valuable things, or things that we once considered to be valuable behind. The story that I am imagining in this card is they are on a floating island, or it's an iceberg or something that's floating away from the castle, and they have chosen to leave the castle. They're looking at the castle longingly because, this is where they used to live, and this is where we used to live. Anyway, this is where they used to live. It was a place that they were really comfortable. It served its purpose when it needed to serve its purpose, and it was doing great, but then things changed. Things changed, and it was time to go. And this person was in a spot where they were like, I would rather be naked, floating away on an iceberg, trusting what's over here. I don't know what's over here, but I trust that it's going to be better than staying. You have been honest with yourself recently about something. You've been really honest with yourself about something. And you realize that it is time to make a decision. But it's kind of scary, It's really scary because you don't know. You don't know what's next. But just remember, nothing's permanent. So if you're trying to hold on to something that you already know is unsustainable, and you've been honest with yourself and realize that you don't want to hold on to it anymore, then, oh, perfect. Then it's time to let go. And it seems like this, oh wow. Seems like this process is working very fast. Perfect. Okay, cool. So the Pogs you got: surrender, That's from the Chrysalis edition. Boo from the Halloween edition. And Sticky from the Toys edition. Wow. Okay. So, I don't ever think that there are bad readings. I've definitely given readings to people who were really nervous that they were going to get bad news or going to hear something awful. I don't really think there are bad readings, but sometimes there are heavy readings. But the only reason why this reading might feel heavy is because it's the truth that has already been weighing on you. The truth that's already been weighing on you, and in order to relieve yourself from this heaviness, you need to let it go. You already know that this thing isn't sustainable. Surrender and let it go. Surrender to the process. You are going through a huge transformation. You're dying, being reborn, and then dying again. Okay? And this, again, is not rare. This is something, especially in recent years, especially if you have been doing your spiritual work, this is something that has been happening to everybody. I've had many conversations with my magical friends about how we feel like we have been in the chrysalis, like just continuously for the past 3 years. And maybe we come out for a little bit, we get to be a butterfly for a little bit, and then it's right back into the chrysalis. And to the point where now it's second nature. And the chrysalis, what's interesting about the chrysalis, if we want to talk about the process of a butterfly, is the caterpillar's main job is to consume and to fatten up and get ready to essentially, it's kind of like hibernation, but transform. They're going to be in this chrysalis for a long time. They need enough food to sustain them while they're there. And then they go in the chrysalis, and what happens is they turn into goo. The caterpillar, and this is a very sad story. I accidentally squished a caterpillar one time, and it was just pure goo. It was just goo on the inside. From a thing that looks like a worm, it breaks down to goo inside the chrysalis and then becomes a butterfly. That to me is freaking miraculous. That is... I don't know. I need to look up the science a little bit more of that because it's really hard for me to explain. Other than they turn into goo. During this time, though, while this caterpillar is turning into goo, they need to let it happen. If this caterpillar says, no, I don't want to turn into goo, I want to continue to be a caterpillar, then it's just a caterpillar that's stuck in a chrysalis and it will die. You gotta allow the process to happen. You have to break down into some kind of soup that you have never heard of and then rebuild yourself. And this process, though, it sounds difficult and it sounds scary. And it sounds like, oh, how am I ever going to be able to do this? But much like the process of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, it has been done so many times before, and it's part of the natural process. And the only thing that you need to do is to be. You need to allow the process to happen. Next, we have the Boo card, which is really interesting because with the 8 of Cups, 8 of Chalices, it made me think about this person's leaving behind their castle. Did they say goodbye to anybody? Or did they just escape in the middle of the night? The Boo Pog shows up to talk about ghosting. To talk about either you've been ghosted or you're ghosting somebody. And in this situation, Sometimes, if you are not in a safe situation, ghost that shit. Get out however you can get out and just be gone and leave it. And you don't need to get back in contact with, whatever is going on, those people, that situation. But for this one, it does feel like the message is you need to tell people goodbye if it's safe to do so. You need to tell the appropriate people, hey, this job isn't really working out for me. Hey, this relationship isn't, you know, working out for me. I don't know. I don't know how to break up with people properly. You'll figure out the right words to say, but you need to tell the appropriate people that you want to leave, that you're planning on leaving the situation, that you are leaving the situation. Not just because um, it's the responsible thing to do or it's the proper thing to do, but because there are people that care about you and they're going to be thinking about you and they're going to be wondering where you went. And that these people are going to be wondering where you went. So you're going to always have in the back of your mind, even though you're trying to sever ties, you are really like, there is something that needs to be severed. I think you even need to do a severing ritual in order to really leave this behind. But it's very difficult to sever ties if you're constantly thinking about the thing that you're leaving and that thing is constantly thinking about you. So by getting the closure, by telling the appropriate people, I'm leaving, you won't be worried about what they're thinking while you're gone. And they won't be worried about you or hoping that you're going to come back. That's another thing. Yeah. So tell the appropriate people when the time is right. Again, we have that 13 coming through. So it might even be, within that 13-day time span. It seems like this is going to be happening pretty quickly, which can be overwhelming, but also I think is great to not have to drag things out. So you also got the sticky pog, which is gack, getting stuck in the carpet and being very difficult to come out. But in this case, we're talking about sticky emotions, anger, sadness, fear, lack, hatred, jealousy. And all these emotions are normal to have and sometimes very righteous to have these emotions. However, they gum up the works, they get stuck. These types of emotions are ones that stick around for a long time. This is very much a release reading. And you know what? Now I have, with the Polaroid, I'm thinking about how it pushes the film out. You take the picture, it pushes it out. It doesn't keep it. It doesn't hold on to it until you're ready for it to develop. It's released when it's time to be released. And you have so many messages about release and surrender and allowing the process to happen and allowing yourself to grieve, allowing yourself to change, allowing yourself to move on, and allowing the process to be easier by communicating with the appropriate people and by releasing yourself from the sticky emotions, which something is telling me that this situation that you're leaving, there is a lot of sticky emotions there, and you become a part of that when you're around that castle. So once you're releasing yourself from this, you're going to see how the stickiness is just going to fall away. And coming back to our original symbolism with the blue diamond and how that made me think about cold and ice, like these two people look pretty cold. Like it looks like, it's Lady Speech was saying it's going to be a cold winter, but that doesn't mean that you can't provide yourself with some warmth. You can't prepare. You can't call the proper people, tap into the correct channels, notice when there's sticky emotions coming up, and give yourself the opportunity to free yourself. And with the pencil drawer being your secret compartment, I'm going to say that writing about it is really what's going to help. You could do stream of consciousness writing and then burn the pages. You just write whatever's on your mind. You can write the most foul things you have ever thought. You can write how you wish things were different, but they're not. You can write your fantasies. You can write lies. You can write the truth. You can write whatever you want and then burn it so no one, including you, can ever read it again. You can release these things from yourself. And I think the power of writing is really going to help. You can also write things that you're going to keep. You can journal about it. You can make poetry about it. You can write advice about it. If you learn something really awesome, you can write about your experience and someone else might read that experience and learn something from you. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a little rough patch for you, but you do have all the tools that you need to get through it. And again, you just need to be. You need to allow. You don't fight against the current. Allow. Like, it's already happening. It's you're already breaking away from this situation. Just allow it to continue to take you where it's going to take you. But also, just to make things a little bit easier, you can communicate your intentions with the appropriate people. All right, that seems like a pretty good place to call this reading until next time. I hope that even though there was some heaviness to this reading, it brought you to a place of peace, or at least to a place of knowing what the next step is. So you're not leaving this space with more questions, because really this reading is about releasing. And we already talked about the ebb and the flow, the release, the receive. It's part of the process, and this is a releasing moment for you. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. Please let me know if you would like to see more readings like this. This is my first time making a reading like this. Let me know your symbol that if you got a blue diamond and you want to talk about it, if something resonated, if nothing resonated, let me know. I'd like to get your feedback. And thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Okay, this reading is for the folks who chose the yellow moon button. Let's see what your secret compartment is. It's the calculator, and your symbol got kind of stuck in there. Let me see if I can coax it. Oh, there it goes. And the symbol that you have inside your secret compartment is the crimper. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to write those symbols down. We will take them into account for your reading. So you chose the yellow moon. And it opened the calculator. If I can spell. And the symbol inside was the crimper. Okay. Let's flip this pencil box over and get your reading. So, for those of you who don't know, a crimper is a hairstyling tool that kind of looks like a flat iron, except instead of flat pieces of metal, it has crimped pieces of metal. It has like these wavy pieces of metal, and so it gives your hair a very tight, wavy texture. I'm going to shuffle the cards while I talk about these symbols. The first thing that's coming to mind is I noticed when I was in hair school, well, I was in makeup school, and we did a section on hair, and we were using all of the heat styling tools, and crimpers were one of them, that if someone's not careful, they, particularly a white person, they could get themselves into some cultural appropriation if they decide to crimp their hair, because depending on the style, it can recreate the texture that's similar to natural hair that Black people have. And I think there has been some there probably has been some talk about, you know, crimpers being used for that. Something that I used the crimper for was for volumizing. Instead of teasing the hair underneath an area, I would crimp it and then just put smooth hair on top, and then the crimped hair underneath would be like so full and voluminous. So the 2 of Swords and the 10 of Coins have popped out while I was talking about that. Okay, also, you chose the yellow moon. Yellow moon energy to me is speaking about dreams. The fact that it's a yellow moon, it's giving me, I'm getting this message of the moon being very bright and almost like the sun. So, you know, maybe this is a full moon energy that's coming through, because sometimes on full moons, the moon is so bright that it feels like, it looks like it's daytime outside or twilight. Also in the winter, if you get snow, the moon reflects off the snow and can make it look like it's only 4 o'clock outside when it's midnight. But, and we have another moon here with the 2 of Swords. Yeah, okay. So what I'm getting is that you're having trouble deciding whether it's day or night, deciding whether something was a dream or reality. You've probably been having some dreams about things that are really mundane. Like maybe you have a dream that you go to the grocery store and you buy a bag of chips, and it's just the most like simple, mundane, boring dream. So when you wake up the next day, you don't know that you didn't actually do that. And it wouldn't matter if you did or didn't, but you may be going downstairs expecting to see a bag of chips on the table and it's not there. So I think that, yeah, I think your dreams have been pretty wild lately. And there definitely is some symbolism in them. So maybe if you're able to remember your dreams, write them down first thing in the morning. That's also a really good way to just clear your head. And if you have some really intense dreams, it's a good way to get the dream out of your head so you're not thinking about it. If you get it on paper, and it won't disturb you for the rest of the day. And also maybe give you some insight, help you get to a space where you can think about if that dream had any significance. You also, your secret compartment had the calculator. So, what I've been doing with all of these readings is the button that you chose, you didn't know which compartment it went to, unless you have one of these pencil cases. So you didn't know that you chose the calculator as your secret compartment. That is something that you have in your back pocket. The calculator is your secret weapon, your secret tool. When I think of calculators, I think of the certain things about life where the rules cannot be bent. With math, you can say that 2 plus 2 equals 5, but the calculator is going to tell you 4 every time. The calculator is regimented. The calculator is by the book. The calculator is also a very helpful tool for when things are a little too difficult for us to do the math in our head, or we just don't feel like doing the math in our head. We can ask the calculator to help us. And we trust the calculator. I don't know about you, but I have done expenses. I have done taxes. I've done some really important stuff, and sometimes I just use the calculator that's on my phone. And I trust that, maybe I'll do the math twice to make sure, but I trust that whatever the calculator is telling me is the truth, even though I personally did not do the math myself, didn't take out a pen and a paper and do the math. So there's some pretty cool energy around the calculator. Also, that phrase, do the math, that I just said. Yeah, again, with the yellow moon, and maybe there being confusion about whether something is a dream or whether it's reality, whether it's daytime, whether it's nighttime, you do the math. You do know in your heart of hearts what's real and what matters to you. With the crimper is, I said that I use it as a tool to give volume to hair that does not have any volume. This is a tool to get around things. Same thing with the calculator. When something seems impossible or seems like it's too hard or seems like it's never going to happen, there are tools like crimpers and tools like the calculator that come through and they're like, nah, I can do this. I got this. So I'm really getting this, like, we're having a dilemma of what's real, what's not. Maybe it's all real. Maybe it's all fake. Maybe it's all a dream. We have access to tools that could help us do anything. Nothing is impossible. So I think also maybe that's the other message, is instead of being like, is this a dream or is this a reality? You have a dream of something that you want to do. And also, since we have the Two of Swords, this is a decision card. And so you're trying to be logical with the decision that you're making, and you're saying, well, I want to do this, but it might not work. It might be impossible, so maybe I shouldn't even try. You're getting some messages that anything is possible. And then you have the 10 of coins and the Empress. So this is a go for it, baby message. You've got a dream that you want to make into reality, You've got the tools to do it, and you're calculating. You're creative. You have the Empress. You're creative enough that you can get around any obstacles. You're going to figure out a way to do it. You probably already know. I actually also feel with the calculator, you've already been thinking about how you're going to do it. You're the type of person where you, instead of just saying, oh, I want to make a purse, you start thinking about the fabric and the zipper and how many pockets it's going to have inside of it, and you know exactly how it's going to look inside your brain before you even go to get the materials to make the purse. You think about stuff a lot. You calculate, you do the math in your head ahead of time. But also, if you're not able to do it in your head, you have the tools at your disposal that can help you do it. And with the 10 of coins, I'm seeing this as, if you aren't already in a space of feeling pretty relaxed and content, and like things have come full circle, something that you started a long time ago is reaching its culmination, and you feel very satisfied, and you're just enjoying reflecting on that journey and enjoying the rewards from that journey at this moment. I feel like that's kind of happening now, or it's going to be happening soon. And that is such a perfect time to create, to manifest, to birth, to be in a space where, okay, cool, the thing that I was working really hard on is coming to an end. So now I have time and space, and also just like this relaxed energy where, and I'm happy. So it's just this really good space to manifest and to create this new thing, to get in and to make the decision to follow your dreams, okay? Make the decision to follow your dreams. I don't know about you, but Two of Swords always shows up for me when it's like, do I decide between the thing that I don't want to do or the thing that I don't want to do? And the answer is, carve a different path. Get creative. Use your freaking talents and your tools, and just you don't even need to go this way or that way, because you're going to create a different path to go. Okay, let's get you some Poggs. Oh yes. Okay, so that's the You Learn by Alanis Morissette. So that's from the music edition. Oh, another music. I Try, Macy Gray. Okay. Yeah, already, right now. And Grace. Okay. I mean, I was just about to say it before I drew the Grace, but I was like, right now I'm getting that music is going to be a huge part of your healing journey. Not only just forever, but where you're at right now, this situation. Music is going to be something that's going to help you process, and it's going to help you feel relaxed, feel happy, and feel in that good space where, when you are having moments where it's, what am I going to do? Is it day? Is it night? Is this a dream? Is this reality? Music is going to make it all feel okay. No matter what the situation is, the music is going to help you relax. So you have You Learn, Alanis Morissette. This song, Some of the lyrics are you live, you learn, you try, you learn. So yeah, like trial and error. Did I say that? No, I think I said that for the last group too. But calculator and crimper, it's like I'm going to use these tools that I have to make something happen, and I'm going to learn from that. It might work, it might not work, it might not even be about this thing working or not working. It's just seeing what the result is. Seeing what the result is. So yeah, you learn. And you might even, okay, I'm getting the message now. Two of Swords. Do I do the thing that I don't want to do, or do I do the thing that I don't want to do? um Sometimes it feels like that, and it feels like there isn't another option. There's a chance the Yellow Moon group, some of the folks in this group are going to be not not sure what decision to make, and they might end up making a decision of something that they don't want to do, and just kind of going on a little detour away from their path and learning a lesson. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's no time limit, there's no rush. You don't have a deadline to make this decision. Um take as much time as you need, and sometimes we do. We need to make a decision that's not necessarily aligned with us in order to push us back into our true alignment. So I think that that's going to happen. Some of you've been honest with yourself, and you know what path you truly want to take, but you're going to take a different path because it's what makes sense logically. It's the thinking mind is telling you that it's the better decision. And not to talk shit about the thinking mind, but sometimes it's not correct. So, but yeah, like I so many times have had situations where I know the outcome. I know that if I go down this path, I am gonna get my heart broken. But I do it anyway because I want to try it. I want to try it. And then I go down that path and I get my heart broken, and I learn that I don't want to go down that path again. Sometimes we need that. It's a detour, but you're not going to be late anywhere. You're just taking a detour. You're taking the scenic route, and you might have some heartbreak, or you just like learn, or disappointment. I'm mostly thinking disappointment with this. It might not be heartbreak. Um and what's going to come through to help you heal when you have this disappointment? Music. So then we have Macy Gray with I Try. Oh, yes. Okay, you're gonna go you're gonna go down the path that you don't want to go down. You're just gonna do it because Macy Gray. This song is I try to say goodbye and I choke. I try to walk away and I stumble. This is a song about someone who knows they need to leave a situation, but they can't. Um, or they need to leave, but they don't want to leave. It's hard to leave. So yeah, I think you're in for a lesson here. But with the 10 of coins and Empress, those are such good cards, and Grace is also a very good pog, that I think it's right now, if you can hear it in my voice, I am highly amused by this situation. I think it's gonna be like the Benny Hill show version of, um, whatever whatever you're going through. It's gonna be comical. You're gonna be like, oh, yeah, I did the thing and I knew I shouldn't have done the thing, but I did it anyway and it didn't work out. And here I am. And I think you're gonna be kind of laughing about it. Um, you're still gonna learn a big lesson. You're still gonna know, hey, I don't ever want to do that again. But it's pretty funny that I did that. So Grace, what's and actually, that makes so much sense with Grace because that's the attitude that, Grace Jones not only was unapologetically authentic and like androgynous and just so unique and weird and just did whatever, and people loved it. People loved it. Grace is in the name. And so this is talking about being unapologetically yourself, being unapologetically authentic, but with the grace, with the humor of like, okay, let's say I'm being unapologetically myself, and because I decided to wear a really weird outfit with like 7-inch platform boots, I fall on my face. Having the grace to be like, oh, I just fell on my face. Okay. And get back up and just keep being myself and dust off my jeans or whatever I'm wearing. Um, that's the kind of grace I'm talking about. Not the preemptive grace, not the grace of I'm not gonna fall down because I'm super graceful. No, 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 no. We're gonna fall down and and it's gonna kind of feel inevitable, and we're gonna be like, oh yeah, I definitely brought this upon myself. But I'm going to deal with it gracefully. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to start blaming people. I'm not going to, demand that everybody give me tons of attention and come and help me. It's like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep moving. And this thing that you're doing it's fun. I really do think you're having fun. You're following some dream. Yeah, you're definitely following a dream. And you already have a lot of ideas. You already have, if you don't um have anything written down yet about it, write down some of your ideas and just kind of see what happens when you start taking notes and maybe even outlining a possible process, because that might help you in this situation. But I think I mean, I feel like if I was getting this reading, I would have more questions like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to make a not so great decision, and then I'm going to have to learn a heavy lesson." I feel like I might have more questions, but honestly, this is right now. And the answer to any other questions you have are going to come later. But right now, just know that you have the power to be graceful and to be humorous and happy and loving, um, and nurturing about anything that occurs in your life. And the universe is on your side when crap happens, when not so great things happen, when disappointment happens. it's really easy to be like, oh, why? Why me? Why does the universe hate me? The universe is just pushing you towards your dreams. The universe sees you making a decision that's going to help have you veer off of your path. And the universe is trying to just push you back onto it. So it's going to give you a reason to turn around and go back to your path. So that feels like a good place to end it. I hope you enjoyed this reading. This is my first time doing a video like this with timestamps and 4 different options of divination. So please let me know if you liked this video. Let me know if you hated it. Let me know if you got the yellow moon button and it resonated with you, if it didn't resonate with you. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. If you chose the pink heart button, this reading is for you. I started doing these readings a while ago. I started this video a while ago, and the sun is going down. The sunset is gorgeous. Denver sunsets are quite beautiful. But I'm telling you all this because the lighting has probably significantly changed. I have been relying a little bit on natural light during this reading, but it looks like you can still see everything, and I might mess with the brightness and stuff during editing. Yeah, I just want to remind you that this is my first time doing a reading like this, so I'm kind of working out the bugs as I go. Anyway, let's just get into it. So, pink heart. Let's see which compartment this opens. It opens up. I believe that this is a compartment where an eraser. You keep your eraser. So your secret compartment is the eraser, and the symbol inside is an old school arcade game. Joystick arcade game. Probably only costs 25 cents to play. All right, so I'm going to write that down because we will take all of that into consideration during your reading. So you chose the pink heart. Which opened the eraser compartment. And inside was the arcade game. Awesome, awesome. Cool, so let's flip this pencil box over. Get you a reading. Okay, there we go. All right. So I got a little post-it there with your symbols. We got your arcade game. Make it all pretty. And while I talk about these symbols, I'm going to shuffle the cards and see what pops out. This is a Star Spinner Tarot. I will have the links to this deck and to my Oracle Poggs in the description. So, pink heart. Oh, yes, the star. Awesome. Okay, so you chose a pink heart. You know, I think you really want a love reading. Let's see what happens, but I'm no promises. But pink heart is pretty... Oh, okay. Ace of Wands. Okay. I guess this is going to be a love reading. Yeah, I think if you're drawn to the symbol, the pink heart, you're thinking about love. And that doesn't necessarily mean sexual or romantic love. But maybe you're needing more compassion in your life right now. Or you're a very compassionate person and you're feeling a lot of compassion. So you're just drawn to that kind of symbolism. Your secret compartment was the eraser compartment. So I'm thinking, so you didn't choose which compartment you got, but what I've been doing with all the readings is I've been taking the secret compartment and interpreting it as something secret that either you're not being completely honest with yourself about, or maybe it's your secret weapon. But since you got the eraser compartment, I'm really thinking that your secret weapon is that it's very easy for you, or maybe not easy. It's not easy for you, but you are comfortable with saying goodbye. You are comfortable with erasing things. You're comfortable with getting rid of clothes that you don't wear anymore. You're comfortable with deleting phone numbers out of your phone from people you haven't talked to in 2 years because you're pretty sure you're never going to talk to them again. Or if you need to contact them, you'll find them another way. You're comfortable with blocking people on social media. It's not easy. It's not fun when we get to a point where we have to erase things from our lives. Sometimes it's nice to purge. Like if we're getting rid of clothes or, belongings or moving house or something like that. Sometimes it's really good for us and it's very cathartic, but sometimes it's painful. And with anything leaving our life, no matter what, there's going to be some grief. My mom was talking to me about when she had 3 kids, and the experience of a kid losing a baby tooth, and how, not only is this like a piece of your skeleton that's just coming out of your mouth and a new piece is gonna grow in to take its place, but normally this happens when you were a child. You are really young, and even if this whole process made sense to you, there would probably be some upset about it. But to a kid, it's just so bewildering. Like she said, witnessing us losing our teeth, that it was very emotional for us because it was a part of our body that we were saying goodbye to. I don't know why that particular metaphor came up, but it's just something where it's like, even if it's a natural part of life, even if it's something that you're expecting, when you let go of something, there's going to be grief. You got the arcade game as well. And with the arcade game, and this particular arcade game only has 1 joystick. And it's really, and if you've never played an old school arcade game like this, there's this box with a screen in it, so you can shut out the world while you play, and you can play by yourself. And there's something, I feel this way particularly about pinball, because I think I'm mostly an introvert. And with arcade games and pinball, what I like about them is it's a way for me to feel like I'm being social, but I'm actually still not. I'm playing a game, I'm by myself, but if I'm at an arcade, I could be surrounded by my friends. So I'm kind of socializing, but at the same time, I'm also still in my own little world. I still have a place to escape to. And with the star here, I'm really thinking like you are an independent person and you are yourself and you are comfortable with who you are. Or you're yeah. I mean, I think you're comfortable being alone. That's why the erasing isn't as difficult, it's still hard for me to say, like, it's not easy and it's not fun for you, but it is a little bit easier, you've noticed, for somebody who really likes to have a lot of friends and likes to go out all the time, and for someone who's comfortable being by themselves, someone who's comfortable being alone. If you need to erase something out of your life, if you need to take something out of your life, it's it's sad and it's scary, but it's not scary because what am I going to do if I don't have any friends? It's like I'm fine. I'm fine. I'll stay home and do what I always do. But then we have the Ace of Wands, and it popped out when I was saying, "Oh, I bet you're hoping for a love reading." Uh, Also, I gotta say this. I didn't. There was a reading that we had earlier that felt like a career reading, and I usually do not do love readings or career readings, or I don't go into a reading saying this is gonna be a love reading, because I think there are things in our lives that are scary as fuck. And I have noticed from giving readings to people that the two things that people are most afraid about, that have the most worries about, are love and money. And so I don't want to go into a reading saying this is going to be about love or money, because I'm exploiting their fears. I'm taking something that they're really afraid about, and I'm like, okay, so now let's do a tarot reading about it. It's like, no, like I want to have a space where anything can happen in this reading, and it might not have anything to do with love. But this one, I mean, it doesn't have cups in it, but I think it's got some sex. I think that there's some sex. We also have the Ten of Wands, which is in traditional tarot, sometimes it's about carrying too much, having a bigger load than you need to have, and maybe needing to put some wands down. This picture is a cute fairy sitting on a mushroom, growing some plants with a watering can, and they look like they're not really excited about waiting around. So it's kind of like maybe they took on this job, like, oh yeah, I'll grow the plants, I'll water and watch the plants, and then they didn't realize that it would just be a bunch of sitting around, and like it's not what they wanted. So with yeah, we're gonna get some pogs while I'm talking about that. But with all of these, with all the symbolism and all these cards, I think just by being who you are and being yourself, you're extremely attractive. And you're going to attract something into your life. Oh, fudge. I could have cussed. The romance pog. Yeah. And it's right under the star. So the romance, okay. Let me finish what I was saying. You're going to attract somebody into your life. You're going to attract something sexual into your life. It's going to be cool for a while, but then it's going to not be so cool anymore. And you're pretty good at erasing stuff. You're pretty good at saying goodbye to things. You're pretty good at spending time alone. So you can move on, but it's still hard. Or this, you know what, this might have already kind of happened. Okay, so the romance pog. This one, again, because I'm resistant to doing love readings, I created this pog to be about filling yourself with romance. And if you can see, it's kind of like the paint program on the old computers where the fill can is filling in the letters. And then for this to be right under the star where this person is cool being on their own, being themselves, and it looks like they're filling the fill can. So you know how to fill yourself with love. You love yourself. You're cool with being alone. You can make yourself, you can keep yourself occupied while you're alone. You don't really need external excitement. But it did come along for a little bit. And with the coat pog, celebrating our pure emotions, this is about grief. This is about letting go, but in the way of really acknowledging what we're going through. There is a stage of grief that is denial. And it's natural to be like, oh yeah, like, I'm fine on my own. I love myself. I am this kind of person. I'm able, like all the things that I just said, all of the symbolism that is like, yeah, you can do it on your own and you'll be fine. But you got a little taste of what it was like to have somebody else in your life. And so it's sad. Allow yourself to, you don't have to be in denial. You don't have to make your whole identity about being somebody that doesn't need anybody else. And if that continues to be your identity, you can still be sad. You can still think about the bygones. You can still grieve. You can have those emotions, and acknowledging those emotions is the way to go. That's what the cards are saying, that acknowledge that you're having. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to change anything. It doesn't even mean that you did anything wrong. It's just saying acknowledge that you're feeling the way that you're feeling. But also you can remember that you have this ability to fill yourself with the love that you need. And the what will you find in the dark, married, I don't know why I use that word, with the 10 of Wands, is saying, you took on something that was, and it ended up being too much. It ended up being a burden. It ended up being not what you thought it was going to be. But it gave you an opportunity to really go inside and do the inner work and do the shadow work. That's what this is. This is a situation where there's some shadow work happening by branching out and doing something different and trying something different, and it not going the way you thought it was going to go, or it ending up being too much. That's the other thing. I think it's not that like, oh, you tried something and you failed. You tried something and then while you were trying it, you're like, oh wait, I actually don't, this is not what I signed up for, or not what I thought that I was signing up for. And so you're doing some shadow work in the process, which is great because you're cool with being alone and doing the shadow work. And as long as you remember to acknowledge and be honest with yourself, like tell the truth to yourself. I've said it like 3 times, I think, in these readings today. You're being honest with yourself. Think about that. Let me see. How do I want to put this? You're being honest with yourself. When sometimes, something happens, we don't feel good. We feel depressed. We have to rest. We have to take a day off. We um, eat a bunch of junk food. We do something that maybe we're like, oh, I really shouldn't be doing this, but I just got it. I really shouldn't be taking a day off of work, but I need this day. And we say these things like, oh, I shouldn't be eating potato chips, but I really want to. You're being honest with yourself. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's an excuse for you to do something harmful, just because you want to do the thing. But I think it's a reason to forgive yourself for things that we, for one reason or another, decide we shouldn't be doing. Stop shoulding yourself and be honest. It's not about should I do this or shouldn't I do this. It's about what do I want? What do I feel? Where am I at? What is the truth? Be honest with yourself. And you're really good at that. That's why you have this loving energy already for yourself. I can see that you've been doing self-love work for a very long time. I can see that you're very good at being alone. And being alone is not scary. It's not like in the Hallmark movies where that like the villain is being alone. You're good at it. You can do this. You're fine. But be honest with yourself, because that's the other thing is if you're good at being alone, then you probably have acknowledged that you are the one that's coming to save you. You are your best friend. You are your first priority. You're realizing that it's not selfish to drink water and eat when you need to. It's not selfish to take breaks when you need to. Um, Self-love is really important, and since you are the number one person in your life, you should be honest with yourself. You don't need to deny anything, and you already know the truth. That's the funny thing when we try to tell ourselves things that we already know aren't true. Anyway, I think that that's a good place to end this reading because now I'm just rambling. But remember to be honest with yourself and remember that you're okay. You're okay on your own. And um, I also, actually, you know what? Maybe it's not over yet because what I'm getting is it's also okay to have other people in your life. But because you are the type of person, you are particular and um, you really, really love yourself. The type of people that you have, you've got to be very particular about the people that you have in your life. So you got to be honest with yourself and not just take on people and friends because you think you're supposed to. All right, that's it for that reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any feedback for me, please let me know. Comment on this video. I haven't posted a video like this before. I am still working out the kinks. Um, I hope it looks okay. um, and again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day.